Last time you saw the Land Rover, it was a huge pile of rust. We'd uncovered the bulkhead and found nothing but rusty old patch repairs and bodges. So I said we were going to start on a massive weldathon, which is exactly what we have done. Actually got so stuck into it I forgot to pick up the camera, and now we have actually put on the edge primer. So it's sort of transformed. Let me just show you this. As you can see, the new footwells have gone in, and if you want to check back on the previous videos, you'll remember that was really pretty awful stuff. And I love this. Look at this, clean footwells, a repaired dash. I don't know, yeah, look back on the other videos and you'll remember there was a lot of repairs to be done around this area. And round the other side was the amazing disappearing A-post. So there you go. I'm really pleased with this. That paint, which is just edge primer, is has been put on with a roller. So there's a lot of videos out there talking about putting paint onto Land Rovers with a roller. Yeah, coach paint was traditionally applied with brushes, so it's not beyond the ken, I suppose, but that's gone on really well. Today what I'm going to do is do the last little bit of seam sealing which was required, and then I'm going to put some undercoat on. So that'll be really telling, I think, because edge primer is one thing but real paint is another. So I'll take some shots today, let you see how it goes on, and then hopefully once that's dry we're going to put some top coat onto that bulkhead so we can move on to other stuff. And that really will be interesting to see if we get a nice finish with a roller. Okay, see you in a bit. Hello. So the plan this morning was to get the undercoat on the bulkhead, and of course I then remembered that one of the windscreen bolts had sheared when we took the windscreen off. So we have spent a whole load of time drilling this out and re-threading it. The camera focus on that. So that's that done, and then I thought the front panel has got to come off because it's got to be painted, so we took that off, and then we've took the bumper off, and as you can see we've got a really naked front now, which is great, but the chassis's got to be painted anyway, so all that had to be made naked. Getting the bumper bolts have proved really difficult. We've had to drill them, grind them, and grind the nuts off. The only way to get them out is from the top, so that was a bit tricky. So the undercoat has gone on to the bulkhead, and it's gone on okay, and that's as much as I'm going to say. The first coat was put on as recommended straight from the can. I put it on with brush and roller. The maker said it shouldn't need thinning, but it's been sat in here for about 3 or 4 weeks since I ordered it, so there's a chance, I suppose, it might have evaporated a touch. I can't imagine it did it that much. The big problem I think today is, and for the last week or so, we're in the middle of a heat wave. It's about 26 degrees today. It's probably higher in here, and I think the real issue is the paint is just drying too quickly, so when you roller it on it just doesn't have time to flatten out, to stay wet. It's just drying out really quickly, which is giving me like a very orange peely finish, so I'm gonna have to flat that out before I go anywhere near it. I'm going to flat it, I'm going to let it go really hard, then I'm going to flat it out, and then it's probably going to have another very thin coat of undercoat. I've been thinning it down by 20% today, which is, you know, it said 10 max, but even with 20% it's still not flowing. So I've been thinning it down by 20%. I think what I've got to wait for is a cooler day. First time in my life I'm waiting for a cooler day to paint. Normally you want a nice hot dry day to make sure you get that lovely instant flash, but not with this stuff, it would appear. It's got to stay wet so it can settle. and I definitely wouldn't be putting the gloss coats on in weather like this. I'd wait for cooler weather. But there's loads to be getting on with for now. I've got to still remove bits and pieces off the body. The Land Rover keeps shrinking regardless of what I do. The old seat box has got to come out. The radiator surround front panel's got to come off and be repaired. I found rot in that at the bottom. This is definitely the last thing I'm taking off this vehicle. Land Rover without a face, front panel off. The two steel items on the vehicle are rotten as pears, so bulkhead's done. Now it's just a front panel. It's only a little repair though. So it's slowly but surely getting there. I just can't wait to see the top coats, but we're going to have to wait for cooler weather. This is where it went wrong. Let me show you. Okay, so on the old tailgate here, that's what I believe is pastel green. Then again, it may be fern green. There's a little bit I polished up just to, yeah, so you can see it's quite green, so maybe not pastel, but there you go. Anyway, the test coat was this. And it's a lovely colour, and as everybody remarks when they come into the unit, it looks great on a Mulinex food mixer or one of these modern kitchen appliances, but it really isn't Land Rover. Let me just zoom out a little bit here and you can just see nice muted Land Rover shade, very, very bright. It's too yellow. So what I've been doing is I keep thinking, well, maybe I got it wrong, so put another little bit on a panel around here just to see. And as you can see, it's just really, really bright. So today what I'm doing is I've now got 5 litres of green paint, which I don't think I can use. So what I'm going to do is a bit of an experiment. The paint, the gloss paint, the top coat is also very, very glossy. What I'm going to do is mix in a ratio of 5 gloss green to 1 grey primer, grey undercoat. I'm just going to see what happens. What I'm hoping for is it mutes the shade and also may mute the gloss a little bit, may give us a slightly more satin effect. Just an experiment, otherwise I've got 5 litres of green paint I can't use and the budget doesn't go there. We'll have a look, see how we go on. Well, that's interesting. I've left it to dry. Let me show you what we've got. Maybe I haven't got 5 litres of dead paint to deal with. So just as a quick reminder, there is our original tailgate. Try and get the light off that for you. And here is our new panel. So just as a little reminder, there you go. There's the Mulinex green with on the right and the new green on the left. So we've got a much more muted shade, and I don't know if that's showing. You can see it's sort of like a satin effect. It's gone on really nicely. see if I can get both in. The old panel's not in the light, so but it is. This is much brighter. But I think that's a much more livable shade. Oh, I think I could go for that. So, once again, bit of bodgery. Let's see how that goes on onto the wider vehicle. Yeah, well then we hit one of those periods that happens with every project where no matter how much work you put in, nothing seems to change. You work and work and work, and every night you leave the Land Rover and it looks exactly the same as it did when you came in the morning. So it gets a bit of a slog and a bit disheartening. But then yesterday, because we couldn't go any further with painting the body panels, we needed to get the chassis done because I want the panels to be painted then put back on. I had to degrease and start painting the chassis, and to be honest, it's been a real transformative moment. It's really great. It feels like the project all of a sudden has leapt forward. So I suppose there's a little tip there, just keep going, keep slogging, even when it gets a bit bleak and you don't see any change in the vehicle at all, just keep going. So what was once dull grey is now the sort of khaki green of the etch primer, and yeah, the fuel tank's still rusty. That's going to get a coat of paint today. And we have, although I keep going on about the lovely clean chassis, it is really nice to see how crisp that is. While we were degreasing, we also got rid of a lot of the muck on the engine and box, a lot of the drivetrain components. So again, we can start to transform those with a lick of paint, and when we have to get under there and start doing the oily stuff, it should be a much more pleasant place to work. And then today I'm going to start making it black, which is going to really transform it, and it's going to give the project a real boost. So I'm going to show you some of that. If you've enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. There's lots more to come. Lots more to get wrong as well. So please stay with us and see how we get on. See you soon.